Welcome once again, folks, to another session of Let's Chat with me, Meor Addelan. You can't deny that everywhere you go right now, every single time that you want to seek for information, that you want to engage with somebody, more often or not, you rely on technology. Yes, folks, you rely on the internet, you rely on the devices that you have. But with every advancement of technology, there is always a threat. And to talk about what the threats are, and what we can do about it, or how we are able to cope with it better in the future, I do have with me a special guest. Ladies and gents, may I introduce to you the president of the Malaysia Cyber Consumer Association, Mr. Siraj. Assalamualaikum, Siraj.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay, no, let's jump let's straight dive into our topic today. Again, cyber threat, how safe are we? Because you, being the president of the Malaysia Cyber Consumer Association, definitely you have the numbers, you have some sort of aspect or some review of what is the state that we are in Malaysia, specifically in regards of the safety level and whatever it is that's happening in the nation. Maybe you can share with our audience, Siraj.
So in Malaysia, basically we have more than 27 million internet user in Malaysia with 83% penetration this year. And we have about 26 million social media user with penetration 81% quarter one 2020. And 26 million out of 32 million in Malaysia. That's a huge number. And today we are facing the biggest threat called the cybercrime. So cybercrime, I think the largest number of cases absolutely during COVID-19, since everyone put their time, most of the day they put time in the cyber. Through internet, they're using phone by communicating, working, video conference, email, any documentation through by WhatsApp and so on. So the highest number all time during this cyber era is during COVID-19. If we refer to the police department, the number is more than 14 million just for a few months during COVID-19 during the MCO. And the number actually never goes down. It keep increasing by yearly, and that's a concern, and we are worrying about. And the most worrying part is if we look at the age of the victims, cybercrime, it comes to maybe from kids and until the age of 60, 70. So the veteran also part of the cybercrime victims.
As you mentioned, during the pandemic, when it was on its hiatus, back in March, April, when everybody had nothing else to do, they were all locked indoors. We couldn't go out. Hence why people were a lot online. And then a lot of cases happened. 14 million, that's not even a small number at all. I just want to ask your opinion on this. Does that mean that we humans, we people, we the society of Malaysia, are we not smart enough to actually anticipate all of this hacking, all of this scamming happening?
I think the Malaysians, we must clear that what is smartphone and a smart consumer. Smartphone consumer and the smartphone it is. So from our point of view, from our perspective, most of Malaysians still not smart in using the smartphone. Basically, they don't have antivirus. They want for maybe like virus, phishing websites, threat. That one is a all-time threat, and it's common since many years ago. And absolutely, like when it comes to like Macau scam, the call which have come from unknown people but declare they are from police department, they are from anti-corruption department, and maybe some from the court is. So they currently, I think the Malaysian are more aware about this. Then since the awareness spread through across any media platform in Malaysia, the TV, the radio, and website, that's good enough. But the problem is the criminal part keep keep evolve time by time. So what we are expecting is the government itself have to be smarter compared than this criminal. So the people always there, they are keep using daily. Sometimes the criminal will learn the behavior of people who are using the smartphone or are using the cyberspace itself. So it's not a single direction solution. It's a multi-angle solution. Have to think and have to collaborate it, which from the governments, which are the authorities, and to be collaborated with the media, have to collaborate it with the people itself.
Why do you think, as you mentioned just now, why do you think that it is so difficult for the government to actually be able to stop, or what is it that the government needs to do or to have it to ensure the safety of the Malaysian public when they go online?
I think because of we are still less in number of people who was convicted the crime and bring it to the justice. Still that zone we got a big loop in the what we call it the investigation part, like police department and the MCMC itself. When the victim have facing the crimes, being the victim of the cybercrime, normally they have issues like which one I have to go, which one I have to report. I have to report the police department first, and then or I have to go to the MCMC since we are using smartphone. So smartphone normally people would think about the communication and multimedia. So when it comes to crime happens in the cyberspace, they just think like MCMC can help them to track the people who are doing the crime itself. They think like that, but actually what happened in the government, they have like few obligation like the data protection, for example, the PD personal data protection, and some of the process of investigation takes maybe like for example, the case like scam. When you buy something from website and suddenly you got scammed from the seller, so you already paid that item you want to buy, and you bank in your money to the any account number, maybe Maybank, CIMB, and you have the name of the account holder, and maybe next 1 week, 2 weeks, you know that you're already scammed, and normally the scammer will stop any communication between you and the criminal. So when you want to report to police, by expecting that the police or any authority try to get the information of the bank account holder, normally it's not easy because we have the authority, the investigation department itself have procedures they have to follow, like the bank account, for example, Ali bin Abu, for the name, for example. So Ali bin Abu is the CIMB bank account holder, and then the police department have to check, have to the request to the bank itself, to the CIMB bank, for example, or any ABC bank, for example, and then the bank have to reply. It takes few days because it's a human work now. So the officers in the bank have to reply within, not just, and what happened is, it's not that's the only case happen and request by the authorities to the bank. So there are a lot of requests by, not just by the police department, for example, any kind of investigation department like custom, immigration, maybe dealing with the account bank holder. There are process that which lack which make the investigation long. The period becomes longer, becomes 2 weeks, and then sometimes the people who are already victims, they start to feeling like, like Malaysian lah, it's okay lah, tak ada rezeki, so the terms like it becomes like, at the end of the day, the victim like feel like give up on that case and start to move on. So these things actually give more encourage to the criminals to do more.
Right?
Yeah, to the scammers. The scammer really like, oh, it's okay. At the end, the people like, just let it be, and then the scammer keep going to scam people, but by an increase in any platform. So what we expect from government, what we expect from the authority, there must be more smarter than them, must be more advanced than any technology used by consumer. So the authority itself cannot be like following like as a consumer. They must be advanced than consumer. In that way, they have no. So part of it, for example, maybe a government lack of in policy, for example, the police department itself. So these cases normally belongs to commercial crime investigation department, and under the commercial crime investigation department, there is a unit called multimedia and cybercrime unit. It's a unit. I think lack of staff there in the HQ of police department. But actually this era, we call it the digital era. It's irrelevant now. The unit called still called a unit. So they must create a new department in the police department called the cybercrime department, not unit. So with one director. So this will make the movement of we call it securing the cyberspace, the consumer itself, and people will know a single direction where to go if the cyber threats happen to the consumer. So they will know, oh, basically we have to go to the cybercrime department. So now if you want to go, you go to any IPD, Ibu Pejabat Daerah, and then you go, and then normally there's no counter for cybercrime cases. So you have to go to the crime, and then any investigation officer that's not, maybe they don't have any in cyber crime handling. So this one will be lack of the procedure itself. So our point of view, this is a big move. If government listen to this, it's a big move for government to overtake the cybercrime or cyber threat issues.
How can we be smart in becoming a smart user on all of the smart devices that we have in our world right now?
As a consumer, as a cyber consumer, we are the consumer in cyberspace, must understand what is the thing you call a phone in your hand. How much time you spend daily, you must know. And I think most of the smartphone user in Malaysia now, they have they call it the screen time, and they must evaluate themselves how much time they spend in this smartphone. And first of all, they must put in securities, must put like, this phone is not safe. Better compare than, oh, my phone is safe. Always put that it's not safe. So when it seems like you are walking on the very narrow bridge, and then you walk with the mindset of, this is very, I have to take carefully walk on this bridge. Basically, every consumer must know this is not secure, because you put yourself basically data, a lot of data, when you think it's not secure. So you always be careful what you are going to feed in this smartphone. Your data, your banking data, or any kind of data, your work document, maybe you involve anything. And the second, keep updated with authorities. We have a lot of awareness page, like Friends of PDRM, like the MCMC itself page. They keep spreading awareness about what happened in the cyberspace. And basically, like Cybersecurity Malaysia, people can follow this kind of page.
Thank you so much. But I think the most important thing here to remind Malaysians that as much as you enjoy the freedom, as much as you enjoy communicating, you also need to keep yourself, aware of the threats out there and making sure that you are taking care of yourself. Siraj, Jalil, President of the Malaysian Cyber Consumer Association, thank you so much. Insightful, definitely. Thank you, sir. We'll see you again. Cheers.
All right, Neil. Okay.
Wow, there you go, folks. Who said that having technology is an easy thing? If you do not protect yourself, if you do not really take care of yourself, you are at the mercy of all of the wrongdoings that people could actually put on you. Be responsible, be wise, and be a smart user. Don't be engulfed by your smart devices. You yourself be a smart user. That's all for now, folks. For Let's Chat. Hope to see you again next time on our next edition. Take care now. Bye-bye.